Welcome to Orhei, a city with a rich history and a stunning scenery. Located about 40 kilometers north of Moldovan capital, Chisinau. Orhei is a place where old traditions meet modern life. It's the ninth largest city in Moldova with a population of almost 25,000 people. The area around Orhei is known for its strong connection to agriculture. Most of the land is used to grow up veggies, fruits, and grains, while local farmers also raise animals. Agritourism has started to grow here too, with more and more visitors coming to experience life in this peaceful countryside. But Orhei isn't always as peaceful as it seems. Sometimes events happen that shaken the community to its core. This is the story of Maria Guja. Anna Maria was just 19 years old when her life was tragically cut short. Her father passed away 2 years earlier, and especially since then, she had been working hard to create a future for herself. Anna dreamed of becoming a primary school teacher, attending Orhei Pedagogical College, and working hard as a tutor. She was tutoring kids. Her mother described her as a respectful, well behaved girl and dedicated person who rarely went out. She might attend a party but wouldn't stay for more than a couple of hours. Anna lived in a student dormitory and visited home about once a month. She was supporting herself with a scholarship and a pension from her late father. Side note, in many European countries, if you lose a parent, you receive a monthly survivor pension. In Moldova, this support continues until you turn 18, but if you are still in education, then support continues until you turn 23. To make ends meet, Anna was also tutoring. On April 12, 2024, they started normally for Anna. She called her mother at 8 a.m., as she did every morning, letting her know that she was heading to college. These daily calls had become their way of staying connected since they didn't get to see each other so often. And later that afternoon, around 3 p.m., Anna called her mother again, this time to let her know that she was heading to tutor a young boy later this evening. She arrived at Boy Place at around 5 p.m. and stayed until 7:30. After finishing, Anna went to a nearby bus station where she waited for a bus for nearly an hour. So really, really long wait for a bus. She called her boyfriend Jon asking if he could pick her up, but he told her that he was too busy and couldn't come, but he will send his friend to pick her up. Anna and Jon were together for 4 years, since Anna was 15 years old. So they had a pretty long relationship, I would say. Anna would often stay at his place on weekends, and through the week she was studying and was staying in dormitory. Jon, who previously worked in prison, so this is an important information for later on, so keep that in mind. He was previously working in prison, but now he was working as a taxi driver in Orhei. By this time, Anna was 6 months pregnant with their child. Anna's mother Maria remembers that on March 8, Anna called her to let her know that she is expecting a baby boy. I didn't say anything negative and I didn't react badly, Maria recalls. She also wasn't particularly worried that Anna wouldn't finish education due to the pregnancy. In Moldova, teenage pregnancy is not uncommon. In 2022, 27 out of every 1,000 girls aged between 15 and 19 gave birth. So 27 out of every 1,000 girls. And this is not counting miscarriages or abortions. And this rate has stayed the same since 2010. This is 2 times higher in comparison to many other European countries. But in Anna's case, we just simply don't know if this baby was planned, if they were looking forward to have this baby. We just don't have this information. If we return back to the events, Anna was still waiting at the bus station and she was super upset with Jon because he couldn't pick her up. And I can totally understand being pregnant, waiting for an hour for a bus. I would be annoyed too. They stayed on the phone together and she said she would start walking home. Later on, Jon explained, quote, "She got upset and hung up on me. I called her back. She said that she would start walking. While I was talking to her on the phone, she reached the traffic light. I told her to wait, but she insisted on going further. I told her to stop at the bus stop so I could send a car to pick her up. She agreed. I quickly hang up, call a friend, and ask him to go pick her up and drove her to the dorms. After that, I texted her saying the car was on its way and to message me when she got in. At 8 and 57 minutes, she texted me okay, and at 8 and 59 minutes, she texted me I got in. About 5 minutes later, my friend calls me and says, I'm here and there is no one there on the bus stop. At first, I thought it was a joke, but he quickly realized that Anna must have gotten into a wrong vehicle. When he tried to call her, she no longer answered. She got into a gray Ford Fusion on 31st August Street in Orhei. After that, she was never seen again. Jon kept calling her, but there was no response. He thought maybe the car would drop her off at the dormitory. What he didn't know was that she was sharing a car with the worst predator imaginable. Jon went to the dormitory and waited for her there for a long time. And around midnight, he called the police. So the way I am understanding this is basically just a few minutes before 9, Anna went into this car. And when she stopped answering, Jon went to dormitory where Anna lived and wait for her there. I don't know how much time he needed, but let's say he needed like a half an hour or an hour to get there. So basically he was there around 10 before 10 and he waited 2 hours. I checked on Google Maps the distance between the street where Anna was kidnapped to her dormitory. I am assuming that she was living in the dormitory near her college, and from the street to the dormitory it takes about 10 minutes. And Jon waited for around 2 hours. So I do think this is a long wait, knowing that she went into the wrong car. I don't know what he was thinking, but basically he notified the police at midnight and then the official report was filed at 3 a.m. But only an hour later, Anna will actually die. Nobody knew it at the time, but looking back, the police had only a really small window of opportunity to find her alive. When Anna got into the car, she was hit in the face almost immediately. You can skip the next part if you want, because what I am about to share is truly heartbreaking. According to police reports, he took her to his house, dragged her into the basement, and put her through unimaginable torture. They found strangulation marks on her neck, needle marks where he stabbed her with needles, and burn marks from cigarettes, mostly on her hands. She had been sexually assaulted and struck on the head several times. The official cause of death was an open head injury. Then he took her out of the basement, put her in the trunk of his car, and drove her to the place where she was eventually found. With the help of CCTV footage from the bus stop, police identified the driver on April 16 as Gheorghe Cotorobai. I will call him Cotorobai from now on. When officers arrived at his home, they were forced to wait at the gate for several hours because he refused to let them in without a search warrant. Once they obtained a warrant and searched his property, they discovered more unidentified women's clothes inside. I don't know, maybe the clothes were from the relatives. At the same time, he really tortured Anna, and I wouldn't be surprised that this wasn't first victim. On the screen, if you are watching, I am showing you the video of this unidentified woman's clothes. For over a week, more than 900 volunteers and police searched for Anna. They found her 21 kilometers from Kotorobai house, on the shore of the pond in the Telenesti district, in a shallow grave covered with leaves and branches. She was wearing a cross necklace. She was naked, and her clothes were placed beside her. Her phone has never been found. Anna was laid to rest on April 24. Her boyfriend was also present at the funeral. He's 45 years old and he studied at the police college in Chisinau from 1995 to 1997, so for 2 years, 3 years. And then he worked in the police force between 1997 and 2002, so for 5 years he was a police officer. He was a part of the Telenesti Police Inspectorate, so the same area where Anna was found, and he was assigned to the village Kitkani Veki, where he worked as a head of a local police station for a while. And after 2002, he went to Italy with his wife. In 2011, so almost 10 years after he went to Italy, Kotorobai started an agriculture business. The business has not yet been dissolved and is still officially active. Somewhere along the way, after buying land in Moldova, his wife divorced him. They had 2 children together, and his now ex-wife and their children remained in Italy. His wife divorced him on the grounds that he has assaulted her. Between 2020 and 2023, he worked at the Goyan Correctional Facility for minors, and there he held the position of assistant group head. So this is probably second in command or a supporting leader. And during this time, he attended several trainings focusing on the prevention of torture in prison. His last recorded income from Goyan correctional facilities was at the end of 2023. He was unemployed for around half a year before he allegedly committed this crime. The mayor of the village where Kotorobai was living said that recently he led a more closed lifestyle, mostly only going out to the nearby bar. I haven't seen him drunk, maybe he had a glass of wine or something. The other people living in this village were upset because he had a dog that he didn't put on a leash. The mayor also shared that Kotorobai mentioned to him that he was seeking a disability pension due to ongoing heart problems. One of his neighbors, who wished to stay anonymous, said he was aggressive and believed he was capable of murder. The trial is in process, so here is what we know so far. How do you plead? The journalist asked Kotorobai. Not guilty. Why did you say the evidence is fabricated? Because I have evidence. Then who was in your car if not Anna Maria? Another person. What is their name? Who are they? And do you know them? I will provide that information later. So through this communication that the journalist asked him a few questions and you can see his answers, he's basically claiming that somebody else was in the car with him and that everything is fabricated. Kotorobai was declared competent to state trial. He did not suffer for any chronic mental illnesses or personality disorders. The trial against him started in August 2024. He doesn't cooperate with the investigation body. As we see, he didn't let them in to the house without a warrant, which, okay, this is his right, and he knows his right. That's the thing, because he was a police officer. So maybe it's that, but maybe he was hiding something. His attorney requested house arrest, arguing that Kotorobai home has 4 surveillance cameras that can be monitored by the police. However, prosecution said that law does not allow monitoring through private cameras and that Kotorobai might influence witnesses or obstruct the investigation. Kotorubai also changed his lawyer. The first lawyer stated that the termination was initiated by the client, and I think the first lawyer was his lawyer just for a few days. Really quick change of the lawyers. But the lawyer couldn't dissolve the reasons due to confidentiality. The lawyer also urged the press to avoid psychological attacks on lawyers who are simply doing their job. Basically, he was attacked by the press because he decided to defend Kotorubai. The new lawyer claimed that the woman in the video was not Anna, but somebody else. Anna's mother says she wants the predator to spend the rest of his life in prison. He is currently facing 15 to 20 years behind bars. She said she will never forgive him. I am afraid his brother will come to our house. When I am alone at home, I am scared. I hope justice will be served. I think he will be punished so that he can't commit other crimes. But why is Anna's mother Maria so afraid of Kotorobai's brother? I will spend a few minutes of this video explaining about Kotorobai's brother Alexei. Alexei is defending Kotorobai on social media. Alexei wrote under one post, "This is my brother, and I know for sure that he is not guilty. Please wait for things to become clear. What a society, ladies, we have. Those who think otherwise bring concrete evidence." 14 years ago, the brother allegedly killed a 10-month-old baby. The mother of the baby confessed to the murder and was also officially charged. She was a minor at the time, 17 years old, and said that Alexei came to her house and started assaulting her and demanding sexual intercourse. Baby was in the same room crying. He got annoyed and killed him. The official cause of death was shaken baby syndrome. Then he dragged her to a bar and later kept her captive in a basement for 5 days. Both the girl and her mother received threats, and the girl was forced to admit guilt. She was released from criminal liability, taking into account the fact that she was a minor and a first-time offender. Shortly after, her and her mother fled Moldova and are now living abroad. In the eyes of law, this girl is guilty. What happened behind the scenes, if this was true, it's horrible, but we cannot really confirm. It's really hard to say because it's his word against her. However, in 2016, he was charged officially with a different crime. On August 7 of that year, so of 2016, at approximately 1 a.m., while in the state of drunkenness, he was accused of violating public order through hooliganism. He reportedly called 4 kids various names and forced them to kneel in front of him with their hands behind their heads, and he was threatening them that he will put them in the trunk of his car. According to reports, he hit one child with the fist across the face and he hit him with his knee in the stomach, while the other 3 were hit with the palm across their faces and heads. He was sentenced to 3 years of prison, but the punishment was later reduced to 2 years of probation. In November 2023, Alexei also ran as a candidate for a chance party. This is a Moldovan political party. However, all candidates from this party, including him, were removed from the local election in Moldova. The decision came after Moldovan Intelligence and Security Service raised concerns about the party's connection to activities that could threaten national security. It was alleged that the funds from Moscow were given to several political parties in Moldova, including the Chance Party, to influence political processes. I am surprised that despite the criminal conviction in 2016, he was actually able to run for the party. But I don't know the laws in Moldova. It looks like it's possible that even if you are convicted, you can run for the political party. But that's not all when it comes to Kotorobai's family. Criminal history is not coming just from Kotorobai's brother Alexei, but also Kotorobai's father-in-law was facing a trial. Here I am assuming that the father-in-law is actually a father from his ex-wife, unless Kotorobai was married before her, but this I don't know. The father-in-law was allegedly sexually abusing 10-year-old girl. A family with this young girl was temporarily staying in their house, and this is where abuse took place. The trial actually began, but was cut short due to the death of the defendant. So father-in-law passed away and the trial stopped. We don't know what would be the end result in this case, but it is important to acknowledge the suspicious surrounding of the Kotorubai family. Now back to Anna. According to one account, including statements of the police, Alexei, who lives in Orhei, may have known Anna. Some speculate that Anna might have been tutoring Alexei's kids, so maybe here is the connection, how Kotorubai knew of Anna. Anna's mother and her family are questioning whether Yon might have something to do with the crime. It is alleged that Kotorubai and Yon were working together in this Goyan prison. This is not a confirmed information. Anna's mother is also puzzled as to why the boyfriend didn't call her that Anna was missing, but she actually received that call from Anna's roommate. And basically, the boyfriend contacted her a few days after. But I must say that the relationship between Yon and Anna's mother was strained. Yon reportedly discouraged Anna from visiting her family, accusing them of serving her alcohol. Maria, Anna's mother, said he told her that we drink alcohol, so she shouldn't come to us. Yes, we drink sometimes, but we will never force her to drink with us. She told me Yon wouldn't let her come. It broke my heart, and I often told her to come home more often. Maria stated that she currently has no contact with Yon and cannot say for certain whether he had anything to do with Anna's death. Anna's aunt added, "We heard that Yon has debts to someone, and that somebody was following Anna a few times in connection to that." Anna didn't tell me about that directly. What hurts Anna's family the most was hearing that people saw Yon partying just a month after Anna's death. It is important to note that none of these claims have been confirmed by the police, but it was important for me to mention because there is a whole interview with Anna's family where they talked also about their suspicions regarding Anna's boyfriend. Such a brutal crime shocked the public in Moldova, as you can imagine, and it sparkled widespread discussion about women's safety and gender-based violence. As a result, the concept of femicide, the most severe form of violence against women, was introduced into national legislation. We reached the end of Anna's case. This is what we know so far. We will see how the trial goes and what happens there. Tell me what you think about this crime in the comments, and thank you for staying till the end.